the Cozy Rainbow Podcast time.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Cozy Rainbow Podcast. My name is Tammy, but my students know me as Miss Tammy.
My name is Joe, and I don't really know why white crayons exist.
On today's episode of Cozy Rainbow Podcast, we are talking all about crayons. So without further ado, let's get into these trivia questions. All right, Joe. Number 1. What is the melting point of crayons in degrees Fahrenheit? Is it A, 105 degrees Fahrenheit, B, 135, C, 150, or D, 98?
Right. So, I don't think it's lower than 105,
Okay.
just given personal experience.
Personal experience. That's all we can draw on.
Well, the other two, 135 and 100 and...
135 or 150?
Right. So I don't think you could get a crayon to melt just by just holding it out in the sun, but I do think you could get it to melt by putting it down in the sun. So I think it's a little higher than...
Well, if you're holding it, the crayon is going to maintain homeostasis a little bit with your body. I mean...
Do you know what those words mean?
Yeah. Did I use it incorrectly?
I don't know if I would use homeostasis.
Homeostasis is the phenomenon where your body keeps the same temperature. It's about 98 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, your crayon's not part of homeostasis.
No, but it's a little bit part of homeostasis if you're holding it.
I was going more along the lines of like, it's only taking in heat via, the sun. Via
Yeah. Okay, whatever. What's your answer?
Convection, whatever.
It's not
135. You put it like, if you throw it on
135. Okay, that's
if you
B.
put it on the road or something like dark, then it'll start melting.
Okay.
Because
black absorbs heat.
so it's a
Science.
little higher than the sun.
Okay, great.
On a hot summer day.
All right, number 2. I have to say a hard word. The ola in Crayola is short for oleaginous, which means A, slimy, B, colorful, C, oily, or D, chalky. Do you want me to say the word again?
I'm going to say oily.
Oily. All right. And number 3, true or false? Crayons are toxic. True. Number 3, true or false? Crayons are toxic.
What do you mean by this?
Like poison. Toxic, not safe.
Well, on all the boxes I've ever seen of, crayons, they all display relatively modestly in tiny little text, non-toxic.
All right. So thank you for your answer, Joe. We will find out if he can read the boxes of the crayons, if he's recalled correctly, right after this quick break. Okay, so we're going to start off today with something that many people are already thinking about depending on where they live. Depending on where you live, the word crayon might be pronounced differently. So, Joe, how do you say crayon?
Like that.
Go ahead.
Crayon.
Crayon. So, yeah, that's us. We say crayon with 2 syllables, but some people say cran.
As in cranberry.
Or crown.
Why do they say crown?
I don't know. This is just like... This is just what I found. I just listened to a video of people pronouncing crayon, and crown. And yeah. So the confusion with the pronunciation of the word crayon is in the amount of syllables. So does it have 1 or 2? I think it's 2.
Why is a consonant when it's not at the end of the word? So that looks like 2 syllables to me.
Yeah. Listen, I think we're right, but it depends on where you live, I guess. It's not...
Oh, English, you and your quirky regional dialects.
Exactly. Okay. So the whole reason why I've been compelled to make this crayon episode happen is because
they're discontinuing purple crayons.
What?
Oh, you get inspired to make these episodes for two reasons. Number one, something's purple, and number two, they're getting discontinued.
Okay, something was discontinued.
There you go.
So
Is one of them purple?
no. Well, I'm sure they actually. Let's find out. Okay, they did discontinue violet blue, but today's not about violet blue.
Oh, well, that's a weird thing to discontinue.
Right. Okay. So
Violet red still exists.
yeah. As far as I know.
Wasn't that strange?
The first discontinued Crayola crayons, and this is, I would say, important to know because if you're ever at like a yard sale, if you're in your classroom and you find that old box of crayons and you find one of these crayons, you can know that it's a rare crayon and maybe you can sell it on eBay. So.
Well, it's not rare yet because it's pretty recently discontinued. But
No, okay. These were retired in 1990. We have maize.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, 1990 they were retired. Maize,
I've
lemon
seen
yellow,
maize.
blue gray, raw umber, green blue, orange red.
Wait, green blue's gone?
Yeah, green blue's
Oh,
gone.
that sucks.
Orange yellow and violet blue.
Why are they getting rid of all the combo colors?
Okay, this is in the 90s. Probably because they wanted to replace them with 8 exciting new colors.
Oh, okay.
Which were,
Sell me on them.
yes, vivid tangerine, yum. Jungle green. This one's a little bit hard to say. Cerulean.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Fuchsia. Love.
That's also a good one.
Fuchsia's great. Dandelion. So spoiler alert, we're going to be talking more about Dandelion today. But Dandelion released in 1990. Then we have teal blue, royal purple, and wild strawberry. Okay. So then those crayons,
You're not going to comment on royal purple?
I don't really, honestly, Joe, no. I
Do
don't
you know why it's royal?
I'm not really a fan of deep purples. I'm more of a light purple, like a lavender, like a bluish purple. Say, like even violet is a bit too deep for me. Okay.
Fake purple fan.
No. Okay.
Anyway.
The next batch of crayons to be retired happened in 2003.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Crayola asked customers to vote on which color should be saved from retirement.
That's a little morbid.
Fun customer engagement strategy. So the color that was saved was burnt sienna. I know what that color looks like. These other ones, I can't think of in my mind, like specifically the Crayola crayon, but like a Crayola burnt sienna, I know what that looks like. It's like a reddish brown.
Sienna's a tree, right?
It's a warm brown. Sienna's a tree. Yeah, I think so.
All right, then.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, the vote, burnt sienna beat out these colors: blizzard blue, magic mint, mulberry, and teal blue. So 1990, they
teal blue just gone like that.
I know, just gone like that. How could they?
But I guess the only other real loss in there is probably mulberry.
You,
like that's
you think? Why
that
is
sounds
that?
like an actually like an interesting color and not
That's just a
blizzard
dark purple.
blue.
Blizzard blue? No, I think blizzard blue and magic mint both sound cooler than mulberry.
Those are Slurpee flavors.
Slurpee flavors.
Not colors.
Okay, so the one thing that we know about Crayola from here is that if they retire colors, they're going to bring out some new ones. So again, in 2003, they brought these new colors in. We have, wait, what? Inchworm?
Yeah, inchworm. You don't like inchworm? Inchworm's a great color.
What color is it?
Green?
Are you for real?
Yes.
You know it? You've seen it? You're not
Yes.
just pulling my leg right now?
Inchworm's a fine color.
I literally thought I made a typo.
If you Google inchworm, you find pictures of butterflies, actually.
Okay, so inchworm, I guess,
Yeah.
that I've never seen. Mango Tango, fun. Wild Blue Yonder. And Slurpee flavor sounding, ready? Jazzberry Jam.
Oh, boy. At the very, Wild Blue Yonder also kind of sounds like a Slurpee flavor, but
I know,
at the very least, it paints a picture.
Imagine
Very
those
appropriately
four
for the name
were
of a
Slurpee
color.
flavors. Inchworm, Mango Tango, Wild Blue Yonder, and Jazzberry Jam. Which one would you drink? Would you drink Inchworm?
Yes. That sounds
Because
interesting.
it's green. Yeah.
No, not because it's green. Are you crazy? No, it's...
Because it's inchworm flavor.
Yeah, it's what on
Ew.
earth? What compelled them to call it
so
inchworm,
gross.
right?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a
You know what? Actually, I retract some of my disgustedness. Some people really like bugs. Some people think they're cute. Like small critters. But ew.
you don't seem very enthused by
I'm not.
this truth.
Okay, so anyway, the most recently retired crayon, my little cousins, our cousins, they brought this to our attention.
Our artists.
Yeah, they're
in-house
artists.
Cozy Rainbow
Yeah,
artists.
We were at our grandma's house and they found the dusty old box of crayons and they picked out the dandelion crayons and they were like, these are rare. These are discontinued. Like, we have to save these crayons. Anyway, so if you go online, dandelion the crayon. Well, dandelion the crayon, it's a bright yellow color. And if you go online, Crayola has personified the crayon dandelion as Dan D. Like, first name Dan, and then his last initial is the letter D. Dandelion is a Renaissance crayon with a thirst for adventure. Dan D.
What do you mean Renaissance crayon?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I think that's a direct quote from the Crayola website trying to describe Dan D's personality. He's a Renaissance crayon.
What, like the Renaissance, like the art, or like Renaissance is in Renaissance man?
I couldn't say. So anyway, this whole thing is a marketing ploy though, because Crayola is selling 64 count boxes of just the dandelion crayon. And not only that, you'll never guess, Joe, what else they're selling.
Colored pencils?
No, a giant 2-pound dandelion mega crayon.
2 pounds?
2 pounds. That's pretty heavy. Just kidding, it's not. But
I don't see a purpose to having a 2-pound crayon. Why would you need so much crayon wax?
I don't know. But they're doing it for the novelty. So, the Crayola website, I was like reading about these retired crayons. Then, they say these are all the retired crayons in existence. This is the ones I just named. You know, we got the Magic Mint, we got the Dandelion, we got, what were the other ones? I don't know, Mulberry, Cerulean. No, wait, Cerulean's not discontinued. Whatever. Anyway, all those
the combo colors.
The combo colors.
Blue, green. Ugh.
Okay, but then I found this website, jennyscrayoncollection.com. And it had a complete list of the discontinued colors. And I get it, like a lot of them have been discontinued they're like the same color, but they have different names. And then sometimes they're like the same color, but they have glitter or they're scented. And she has a very extensive list of every single name. It's kind of fascinating.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you going to read the whole list right
now?
No,
I'm not. I'm not going to. But if you ever wanted to know, I'm just saying that I feel like Crayola's website, they're kind of not as accurate as maybe this Jenny lady's website is. So, all right. Now you may be wondering, Joe, when were crayons invented?
Hey, Tammy, when were crayons invented?
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad you asked. So the first Crayola crayons were sold, and these are Crayola, like brand name Crayola. They're sold in 1902.
Oh, wait, Crayola invented crayons?
No, well, okay. No. But we'll get to that. Just put a pin in that thought, okay?
Okay.
So we'll get there.
All right.
Crayola started selling crayons in 1902. I think Crayola was like the first one to like start mass like distributing the crayons, like really selling them to everybody. The idea of crayons came from a teacher, and the name Crayola comes from the French word cray, which means chalk stick, and ola, meaning oleaginous, which means oily. So, chalk oil is what it means, kind of. And stick. Chalk stick oil. Oily chalk stick.
So the timeline of colored drawing sticks goes chalk, and then crayons.
Probably.
And then,
I mean, I don't know when we get into paints and all that, but
well, paints came first, right? Because
cave paintings.
Well, yes, cave paintings, but also regular paintings. that are
So-
older than the 1900s or whatever?
Well, I can tell you when crayons. So that's Crayola started in 1902. The
Wow.
crayons that we know, kind of ideas of crayons, before the crayons we know today were around, they used ancient civilizations in the 1600s used beeswax and color pigment to make a color stick for their cave paintings.
Very inventive.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the bone spray paint was the most inventive they got.
Wait, what?
You remember the bone and
Oh,
the one bone to hold the paint, the other bone to blow through, and they go, and then it sprayed the paint onto the wall.
yeah. Right. Yes, I do remember that now. Okay. And then
Go watch cave paintings, by the way.
Yeah, there's another. We're talking about the episode of cave paintings. Joe's great episode. Okay. And then so the first reference of like crayons. Actually, no, I shouldn't. I don't think it's the first reference, but in Pride and Prejudice, written in 1813 by Jane Austen,
Yeah.
they talk about crayons.
Well, they don't call them. I mean, do they call them crayons?
They do call them crayons. Yeah, she mentions crayons for some reason.
Okay, wait. So Crayola comes from crayon.
Wait, you're so
Crayola comes from cray and
Oh no, Joe's poking holes in my story.
And then crayon comes from cray and
Oleaginous.
No, crayon, just crayon. Like cray is chalk. What is
Yeah.
on?
Oh, crayon. Oh, never mind. Crayon.
Cray is chalk.
No, I don't know who invented the word crayon.
Hmm.
So, but what I can tell you is what crayons are made of and why they melt so easily. Crayons are made of paraffin wax and color pigment. So, wax and pigment, not too different from ye old crayons that they were talking or that we were just talking about.
You say ye old, but this is cave painting times.
Yeah, okay, fine. It's not ye old. It's more like ooga booga old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the crayons made of paraffin wax and color pigment were easily mass produced in a crayon factory. That's like the genius of Crayola. Crayons melt at 105 degrees Fahrenheit, which means that crayons can melt in unexpected places like cars, in the mail, or even if they're left out in the sun, provided the weather is warm enough.
Those all seem okay. All right.
I know 105 seems low.
Right. Okay. On a pure chemistry sort of level.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's what we're on
The
now.
strict definition of
Pure
melting
chemistry,
point.
guys.
The strict definition of a melting point is when your object is like 50-50 liquid and solid.
Oh.
So it's not like the precise point where all of a sudden you're just working with a puddle now, but it's like the point at which you start transitioning into a liquid or a solid. So like 105 is like the bare minimum where you get like a kind of like if you rubbed it on your fingers, it'd probably like you probably get crayon stuff on your on your fingers. But like if you actually wanted it to melt, you'd have to go way above 105.
Oh, that's true though, because that's kind of how crayons work, I guess, is by friction. Like they melt onto the paper.
You rub
Right.
it off. You rub onto the
up.
paper. And
But
they
isn't
leave.
it heat? Would you say?
No.
Like when you no? Okay.
You could do it in the fridge, right? You can use crayons in the fridge.
Would crayons work if they were frozen? If you were in the Arctic.
Crayons are frozen. They're solid, you see.
Crayons are frozen. They're solid, you see.
But like,
okay,
no, you rub them, right? And
Yeah.
then the outer layer gets smudged onto the paper. That's how it works.
Yes. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
It was just a pondering that I had. And yeah. Okay. So, many people believe Crayola invented crayons, but they did not. Crayola, however, did innovate the idea of the built-in crayon sharpener. And having a large variety of crayon colors, like, their big 64 packs, that's all Crayola, man.
And having factories.
And their non-toxic advertising, their school-safe design.
I mean, school safe for,
So, we're not...
If you're a crayon munching age. If you're of
Yes.
crayon munching age, they're safe for you.
Right. Okay. Yeah, crayon
But
munching age.
don't munch crayons.
Don't do that. So babies are crayon munching age. Babies tend to explore the world by putting things in their mouth. So that's why crayons are safe to ingest, but we don't recommend that you ingest the crayons. It's more like,
not that we'd understand why you would want to.
yeah. So yeah, Crayola's website says that crayons do not contain any ingredients known to be harmful or toxic to humans. So yeah, they're fine.
Paraffin wax and completely safe, nice, consumable dyes.
Yes. So if you eat or ingest a crayon, it will probably cause an upset stomach, but like it's not fatal. It's not gonna, it'll be okay. So crayons are not your meal, but they're also safe. Joe, have you ever heard of a bath crayon?
What distinguishes a bath crayon from a regular crayon?
Well, a bath crayon can be used to draw on the walls or just the walls of a bathtub or a shower, I guess. The bath crayon. Bathtub crayons, you can make them at home, or you can buy them from Crayola themselves. Bath crayons, they do not permanently stay in the tub, but they do require a little bit of scrubbing to remove. I just had to throw that out there.
As opposed
What?
As opposed to regular crayons?
As opposed to regular crayons. Well, okay, but this is like silly, and this is kind of why I put it in here, because it's like people are like, bath crayons, blah, 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 you can use them in the bath, but I'm like, you still have to like clean them off. Like, I don't see how bath crayons are like that much easier to clean off than regular crayons. I don't know. If it were me, I wouldn't buy bath crayons, but they are a thing.
Well, that's... Huh.
Yeah. Okay, Joe. Now I'm going to read you 2 quotes about crayons.
Okay.
I find them quite inspirational. Ready?
Yeah.
Broken crayons still color.
Well, they do.
Yes. And how can you apply that to your life?
I guess when I have a broken crayon, I'll still color with it. I don't know.
Okay. Great. I think there's a larger metaphor that can...
Yeah, no. When things not good, they still can be, you still do good with thing. Make the best with what you have.
Yeah, good. Make the best with what you have. Broken crayons still color. Here's my second quote. Life is about using the whole box of crayons.
How big a box are we talking here? Because
a 64.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
128?
No, there's no way.
I think that's only overwhelming for someone like you.
It's how, when, why?
When am I going to have time to use all these crayons?
Not when am I going to have time. When am I going to have a situation where to use half of those crayons, right? You have like all you need in like a box of like 8, maybe like 12.
Okay.
You know?
Fine. Maybe your box is of 8 crayons, but life's about using the whole box of 8 crayons. Using every color. So it's just like taking advantage of the resources that you have. I feel like is
make the best with what you have.
Make the best with what you have.
But this time with good things and not bad things.
Yeah. So true. Like when you are given gifts, if you're given the gift of a whole 128 crayon box, you best be using them. Or maybe giving away those extra crayons to somebody else.
Grabbing all your 64 dandelion yellows and locking them in a safe and never actually using them because they're very valuable, apparently.
See, that would be the opposite of using the whole box of crayons. That would be the opposite.
See, we endorse the degradation of these historical artifacts.
What?
Dandelion yellows are meant to be used.
No, what's cool is a vintage dandelion yellow, not like the kind that they're making just to sell more dandelion yellow crayons for fun, because that's kind of what they're doing.
Okay, well, I guess the real question here is, would you use a 2-pound dandelion yellow?
No, obviously not. What would I use that for? I can't even like read yellow. Like you can't.
Oh, you write your important documents in yellow crayon. I mean, in crayons in general.
I mean, even like a piece of yellow artwork, I couldn't use just yellow because, like I said, I can't see yellow on white, and I don't think dandelion would show up on like a black. Maybe it would. Maybe it would. Okay, my last two things I'm going to leave you with about crayons. Are crayon sharpeners worth it? Do you think they're worth it, Joe?
I mean, you don't want to get, crayon bits in your pencil sharpeners, so you probably should have a dedicated crayon sharpener.
Right. So crayons are made out of wax, as we found out. Wax can easily change its shape. Yes?
Yeah?
Yeah. So a crayon sharpener, I don't think it's a necessity for school.
So do you recommend that schools have a oven
What?
to put their crayons in?
Not for
and then
crayons,
molds
no.
What?
I do recommend that schools have an oven, like to cook food with.
Well, just a crayon oven, a crayon
No.
space heater,
No.
a crayon heat gun?
What are you talking about?
Well, if you're not going to use a crayon sharpener, clearly you're suggesting to melt down the crayons and cast them into a new mold.
Okay, don't you... What? No, when you like color down your crayon to the point where it's dull,
Yeah?
you can just color using the side of it.
Well, then you don't have any precision.
And hear me out.
Not that you should be using crayons for precision coloring.
Crayons, yeah. Well, okay, maybe if you were, but crayons are already really fragile. So, and they're prone to snapping in two. So if you're sharpening your crayon, you're wasting some of the wax. And I don't know. I just don't get it. So I think I might be anti-crayon sharpener. And I think they get clogged. They get clogged up. Did you ever use a crayon sharpener?
I mean, so do regular pencil sharpeners, right?
No, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's worse. It's not the same, it's worse.
Okay. Well, I guess my stance on this is that there's value in a sharp crayon.
They're laying it out on the law.
A sharp
everybody.
crayon still colors.
A sharp crayon still covers everybody. What?
A sharp crayon still
colors.
colors.
A dull crayon still colors. A broken crayon still colors.
Well, sure, but then you're working with a flat edge and you can't get into the tiny little corners of your coloring pages.
Says you.
Says
you. Okay, and here is my last thing. I have a list of the 50 states, which a lot of people already have memorized. But Crayola came out with a 50 states crayon box, and they have special names for each state. And I think it's kind of fun. So I'm just going to read them. And this week's creative challenge is going to be to come up with your own list of crayon names for something. Like if you want to come up with your own list of crayon names for the 50 states, or I don't know, what's another fun thing? Another fun thing that you could name after crayons.
crayon names for the contents of your pantry.
Sure. What? Maybe
crayon
for the members of your family.
For the
or maybe just one really epic crayon name. Maybe you just have one crayon.
1 2-pound crayon.
Yeah.
Of your own design, not just dandelion yellow.
Exactly. Yeah. If you were Crayola, what set of crayons would you release?
The world is your oyster. That's the name of my 2-pound crayon.
And what color is it? Is it a luminescent?
It's off-white, like eggshell.
That's weird. Joe, you're weird. Okay, so as some inspiration, and if you're listening from any of these states, just know that this is your state's crayon, according to...
This is what we think of you.
Yeah, this is what we think of you. So we have Alabama, Heart of Dixie, Razzmatazz. That's the color. So I'm going to say the state name, and then I'm going to say the name of the color, and then I'm going to say the actual color of crayon. Because Razzmatazz, that's just a normal, raspberry color. Okay, then we have Alaska, which is Kodiak Bear Brown. Maybe I don't have to say the name of the color. I think we can guess what color it is. Okay, here I go. Arizona is Grand Tanyan. I like that one.
I think that one's
funny.
green like a cactus.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Grand Tanyan. Arkansas, Hog Wild Red. That's brick red.
That one's pink like a pig.
Okay, stop. California, Sacramento.
Well, mint. Okay, that one's actually like mints can be a lot of colors.
That's actually Granny Smith apple is the real color. Okay.
Oh.
Colorado is Pikes Peak purple. I don't know what that is. I don't know about Pikes Peak.
But you like Colorado now because it's purple.
What? Yeah, I guess. Sure. Yeah. Connecticut, nutmeg, which is raw sienna, America's favorite crayon color. Delaware, first state fuchsia. Delaware,
Wow,
first state fuchsia.
They went for an alliteration instead of some proud state symbol.
Florida, alligator alley. That one's asparagus. Georgia, sweet Georgia peach. Hawaii, aloha aquamarine. Idaho, tater tan.
Right, so we have 2 tans now?
So we have 2. Well, that one's actually desert sand.
Oh, wait. So okay, wait. Arizona wasn't desert sand?
No, Arizona was Grand Tanyan, and that one was just actually tan.
That seems
The real color was actually tan. I mean, if this is confusing, don't worry. It doesn't.
That does seem a little bit backwards, don't you think?
You know what? We can bring it up with Crayola. Okay, so Illinois, Abe Lincoln's hat, black. Indiana, I like this one. Ready?
Yeah.
Indianapolis, red.
Very clever.
But that one's actually a color called brink pink, so that's also confusing.
You know, like a pink lady, which is definitely a pink apple.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. Iowa, amazing Iowa, which is dandelion. So they don't have a 2-pound of that though. Kansas, the yellow brick road. What?
I'm sorry. That was I don't laugh at Minneapolis, but I laugh at Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought No, it wasn't. It was Indianapolis.
What?
Indianapolis. Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Kentucky, Fort Knox gold. Louisiana, Cajun crawfish orange.
Ooh.
Maine, lobster red. Maryland, Francis Scott kiwi. Massachusetts, Boston Tea Party. I like that one. Michigan, Motown blues.
Well, what color is Boston Tea Party?
Burnt sienna.
Oh.
Duh.
All right.
Yeah. Minnesota, 10,000 Lakes of Blue. Mississippi mud pie.
All right.
Missouri, Archway Gray. Montana, Big Sky.
As opposed to, wait, there was another one that was sky, wasn't it?
No, this is the only one about the sky.
Lakes? I guess I'm thinking of the lakes.
Yeah, well, you're thinking of what?
I'm thinking, 10 million lakes or whatever.
Oh, 10,000 Lakes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big Sky. Nebraska, Cornhusker Yellow. Nevada, Las Vegas Lights. So what color is that?
That one's white.
No, it's electric lime. Wrong.
Green? For Vegas?
Yeah, I know. That's actually quite weird.
Green's not an especially common color.
I would probably pick like red
and
call it Elvis.
Pick red and call it Casino Chip Red.
Casino Chip. Yeah, that's fun. Or like black.
Why not both?
Red and black. Okay. Nevada, New Hampshire, Old Man Granite Gray.
What? Old Man Granite?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. If you're from New Hampshire, you can explain that to us. New Jersey, Boardwalk. New Mexico, Chili Pepper Red. New York, Lady Liberty. North Carolina, Grape Hateras. I don't get that one either.
How do you spell it?
Hatterea. Wait, ERAS. Hateras. North Dakota, Wild Prairie Rose. Ohio, Rock and Roll Raspberry. Oklahoma, Panhandle Paintbrush. Oregon is the Oregon Trail. Pennsylvania, Independence Indigo. Puerto Rico, wait a second.
Hello.
Wait a second.
Nice to see you here among the states.
I don't know. I thought it was the 50 states crayon. And
50 states and U.S. territories.
Okay.
Way to represent, Crayola.
Yeah. Kogel Green. Rhode Island, Newport Jazzberry Festival. South Carolina, Palmetto. South Dakota, remarkable Mount Rushmore. What color is that? Guess.
Gray.
Wrong. It's almond.
Almond.
Yeah. Tennessee. Tennesseana.
That, okay.
Which is, guess what? It's mahogany.
Oh.
It's not even raw sienna. Okay.
That's interesting.
Texas, Alamo.
What?
I don't know.
Say it again.
Alamo.
What? Okay.
Like-
one time through, right?
Okay.
One time through. Say it slowly.
Alamo. Mode.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Utah. Beautiful. Oh wait, no. Be Utahful.
BY who?
Beaver. Vermont, maple syrup. Virginia, Williams, burgundy. Washington, D.C., cherry blossom. What? That's weird. Why is it called cherry blossom? Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, Washington and the cherry tree.
What?
You never heard about Washington and the cherry tree? George Washington and the cherry tree?
I thought that was an apple tree. Are you talking about his teeth in the apple and like?
No, I mean the one that it was either him or Lincoln. I think they both kind of have this story, but they chopped down a tree and they were like, "Yep, I chopped it down. I'm not gonna lie about that. I wasn't supposed to, but I did."
Okay.
And
yeah.
it's a famous story. I'm sure you could talk to some kindergartner. They could tell you about
I thought
it.
it was an apple. Okay, pause. I actually want to look it up. Okay, so it actually has nothing to do with that. There's just really beautiful cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C., I guess, which I wouldn't know because I've never been there. So then we have Washington Space Needle, which is white.
Oh, it's not. They have an outer space crayon.
What?
Crayola has an outer space crayon.
Is it glittery?
No,
Oh.
but it's like
Oh. Yeah. You're right. No. The next one is West Virginia, coal miner, and that one is outer space.
I mean, they had full right to just make that one black, but I mean,
Yeah.
like outer space is a little bluish. Like it's not like coal.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that you're once again. I'm marveling at Joe's knowledge that he brought to this episode.
I'm marveling at the fact that we grew up with the same crayon boxes, and she hasn't picked up on any of this.
My favorite is Robin's Egg Blue.
I like blue green.
Well, I think that one's retired.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 more states. We have Wisconsin, moveless cheese, and
okay.
and Wyoming, Yellowstone. And the real color of that one is unmellow yellow. It's a weird.
As opposed to Yellow Brick Road, which dandelion.
Yeah.
Yellow.
Okay, so thank you to Jenny's crayon collection for that list of the 50 states crayons. And now, Joe, it's time to assess your knowledge once again on crayons.
All right.
Number 1, what is the melting point of crayons?
105 degrees Fahrenheit.
Excellent. Number 2, the ola in Crayola is short for oleaginous, which means oily. And number 3, true or false, crayons are toxic?
False.
False. They're non-toxic. They're safe, but not recommended to eat. All right. If you are a classroom teacher listening and you're interested in some classroom resources, some scaffolded notes, we post the transcripts of these episodes online on Teachers Pay Teachers. You can also visit our website, cozyrainbow.org. If you want to submit some of your artwork or contact us, you must be 13 years of age or older, or you can have a guardian send something in. Our email address is cozyrainbownv@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at cozyrainbownv. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.